We started with peach cobbler, borrowed a few of the cooked peaches for the ice cream, then mixed a piece of the finished cobbler right back in.
So, instead of peach cobbler with ice cream on top, we're putting the peach cobbler inside the ice cream. These peaches were actually headed for our peach cobbler. We peeled them, removed the pits, and sliced them just like we normally would for the cobbler filling.
And they don't have to be perfect. They're going to cook down anyway.
Next, we're making the peach filling for the cobbler. Once everything is combined, add the peaches and let them cook until they're tender and have released some of their juice. Most of these peaches are going into the cobbler.
We're just stealing enough for 1 pint of ice cream.
And that gives our ice cream a nice head start. We're not trying to recreate peach cobbler flavor from scratch. These are the same cooked peaches we're already using in the actual cobbler. For the ice cream base, add our reserved peaches, milk, and vanilla pudding mix. The pudding adds a little vanilla flavor and helps give the ice cream a smoother texture.
Mix it together. Add some heavy cream, then pour it into the creamy pint, staying below the maximum fill line.
Put the lid on and freeze it on a level surface until it's completely solid. For us, that means overnight.
And homemade ice cream used to take considerably more work than that.
Ice cream was already being served in America during the 18th century. Thomas Jefferson was especially fond of it, and his handwritten vanilla ice cream recipe from the 1780s still survives.
But there wasn't a countertop machine doing the hard part.
That started getting easier in 1843 when Nancy Johnson patented a hand-cranked ice cream freezer.
So people have been looking for an easier way to make homemade ice cream for a very long time.
Fortunately, ours is easier. Once the pint is frozen solid, lock it into the outer bowl and run the ice cream setting.
And if that first spin looks a little crumbly, don't panic.
That's pretty normal with a creamy. We're not finished yet. Now we're going to make a little room in the center.
And this is the part that makes the name legit.
Because we're mixing actual peach cobbler into the peach ice cream. Remember, the rest of those cooked peaches went into our cobbler. Now we're taking a piece of the finished cobbler and breaking it into small pieces.
We want some peach, some crust, and some of that soft cobbler underneath.
That way every part of the cobbler makes it into the ice cream. Add the peaches to the center of the pint.
Then put it back in and run the mix-in cycle. And the other half of this recipe has a long American history of its own.
One of the earliest printed peach cobbler recipes appeared in an 1839 Kentucky cookbook where it was described as peach pot pie or cobbler. Cobblers were practical desserts. Fruit could be baked with pastry or dough without all the fuss of making a traditional pie.
And over time, peach cobbler became especially associated with Southern cooking.
Serving warm fruit desserts with cold ice cream became a familiar combination.
We're just taking that combination and turning it inside out. Now, that looks like peach cobbler ice cream.
We've got creamy peach ice cream with pieces of actual peach cobbler running all through it. You get the peach first, then little bites of crust and cobbler as you eat it. Scoop it into a dish.
And if there's another piece of cobbler nearby, nobody's going to complain if that ends up on top. So this is basically peach cobbler a la mode turned inside out.
Exactly. Peach ice cream made from the cobbler peaches with the finished cobbler mixed right back into it.
We'll see you next time in the Ghost Host Kitchen.